Hello everyone. After completion of the concept of single dimensional array and multi-dimensional array, the third type of array which I am going to discuss is that is your jagged array. So what is jagged array and what is the purpose of using jagged array? We'll try to see in detail. Coming to the disadvantage of multi-dimensional array, when we know that about multi-dimensional array, the number of rows and number of columns are fixed. When I'm talking about what? Multi-dimensional array. If I create something called like this, integer a is equals to new int of 3 comma 3. That means fixed number of rows and fixed number of columns are there in multi-dimensional array. Yes, sir, fixed number of rows and columns are there. Now, I don't want a fixed number of columns. I want variable length of columns. Sir, can you take one example where we use jagged array? Let us consider an example of cricket series where it's a series of 5 matches. 11, total 15 players are there. First player has played only 3 matches. Second player has played only 4 matches. What is the point of allocating all 5 matches, means memory, for the particular first user or the first player? Not required. What we do, based on the number of matches which he played, based on that we allocate a memory to calculate the average score which has done in that particular series. That is what the concept of jagged array is. Jagged array talks about, in a simplest way, jagged array is used for variable length of columns. I want to create variable length of columns. Then we go with the concept of jagged array. Number of rows are fixed, but I want what? Variable length of columns. Sir, how can I do variable length of columns? Already I have written a diagram which representing variable length of columns. It says the first row is having only 3 columns, 1, 0, 1, 2. Second row is having 4 columns and the third row is having total 5 columns. Sir, how can I do programmatically? How can I create variable length of columns? I'll try to write this. Syntax is, I'll just write data type, array name. With 2 subscript, it is as usual. That is what, again, your jagged array is a multi-dimensional array. New int of, I'll take 3, but I'll not give any column size at all now. This is what I'll just give row size. I'll not give column size. Column size will be given depends on the user how many columns which he need to create. That is always dynamic. Now I'll try to understand how the variable length of columns can be created, and this is a syntax for creating a variable length of columns. What I said, data type array name with 2 subscript indicating it's a multi-dimensional array. New int of, I have given only row size and a column size is not given. Okay. Now let us try to work on with the example. Sir, on the same diagram which you are represented, can you show an example? How can I write it? Integer a is equals to new int of, there are 3 columns, I have written 3, I have not given any column size. Then how should I give a column size? I'll say a of 0 is equals to new int of, how many columns are required? 3 columns are required. On a of 1, on the first row, the new required columns are new int of 4. So on a of 2, the second row, I'll require 5 columns, so I'll say a of 5. So this is how jagged arrays are created. The very important concept of Java programming language, that is the concept of jagged array, and jagged array is always used to create variable length of columns, and this is how we create variable length of columns now. Okay, so what is the by default value of these arrays when it is created is always 0, as all of you know that. Sir, I want to store the values onto this and I want to find the row sum, column sum, whatever all the things which you wanted to do, all operations, find the average and all we can do on the jagged array concept. Fine. Sir, how can I store the values onto it? And how to find the size of this? If I want to find the size of row, I'll just try to write an coding saying that to find how many rows are there, we used to write a dot size, as all of you know already. This always gives what? Which gives you the row size. How many rows are there in a given program? Okay, in a given program, how many rows are there? Will be getting through a dot size. Sir, how to get a column size? I'll write a of 0 dot size, which always returns the column size. Total number of columns which are there in my array which we have created. So based on the two parameters called as a of dot size and a of 0 dot size, I'll try to run this application. First, I'll create an array. Based on the array which we have created. I'll create a variable length of columns and I'll try to store the values onto it. We'll see programmatically how we can do work with Jagged Array concept. So let me try to open my Eclipse. On arrays concept, right click on it. Then it is taking some time to open. And go for new. So what do you want? You want a class. So select for class and give the array name as Jagged Array demo1.java. Fine. Public static void main string args. Just finish it off. After finishing the file, we'll get Jagged Array demo1.java with main method. We'll see how we need to do coding for that. Yes, we got this predefined syntax, which is generated by IDE. Fine. Yeah. Now let us try to give me the code that is integer a is equals to new int of 3 and I have not given column size. Then I said a of 0 is equals to new int of 3. Yes or no? Then I said a of 1 is equals to new int of 4. I'm creating variable length of columns now, new int of 5. So I want to know the length of each and everything. So let us try to write system.out.println. What I used to write now? System.out.println. We used to write a dot size to know the size of what? To know the size of row size. To calculate the size of row size, we always go for a dot size. I'll just write it as row size plus of a dot size now. Sorry, a dot length. It's not size, not the property, length is the property. Fine. Now I want to calculate system.out.println of, I want to find the column size. So I'll go with column size is plus of a of 0 dot length property. Even I hope here we have written size. Let us try to modify it. It is not size, it is length. Size is there in string, so we have written, so it is length. Okay. A dot length will give row size. A dot 0 dot length will give what? Column size. So this is a dot length and this is a of 0 dot length. Let us try to run the application and let us check it out whether my application is working according to the explanation or not, whether Jagged Array is created or not. We'll see now. Let us try to execute the code. Once after execution, the output which I'm going to get, the row size is 3. This is your row size. And the column size for the given a of 0 dot length, a of 0 dot length, the length is 3. Sir, what if I give a of 1 dot length? Let us check it out now. And a of 2 dot length. I'll write a of 1 dot length, a of 2 dot length. To verify whether we have created column size for first row, let us try to write for second row column size for third row. Okay, now. So let us try to run the application and just check it out. What will be the output for the given application? Okay, let us try to drag it and check it out. Whether it is created, does it created a variable length of columns or not? Just check it out. Column size for the first row is 3. Column size for the second row is 4. Column size for the third row is 5. So this is how we always work with what? The jagged array concept. It is the concept of creating a variable length of columns. Okay, let us try to work with the application. Now, the by default values I said, I'll show you programmatically what will be the by default value of it. That is a of 0 and 0 if I type, it will give the by default value as what? 0. Fine, let us try to show you that. If I print a of 0, 0, it is giving the by default value as what? 0. I want something else. I want to load and values onto it. So let us try to make it as dynamic. So I'll take scanner, scan is equals to new scanner of system dot in. My system dot in class is available in import package. So let us try to import that package called as import java dot util dot scanner. We added it. Fine. Now I'll say system dot out dot println. System dot out dot println. What I'll do is I'll say enter the array elements. Enter the array elements. Let us try to enter the array elements. Then I'll take a for loop. For integer I is equals to 0, I said when rows and columns are there, we should always work with what? With two variables, one is I and one more is j. I equal to 0, I less than a dot length and I plus plus. Enter into block, say for integer j is equals to 0, j less than a of I dot length, because every time I want to know what is the length of my columns, then j plus plus. What I'll do? I'll say a of I j is equals to scan dot next int. Okay, guys. Let us try to copy and paste this entire code because I want to, at the same time, I want to even display the content also. What I'll do is I'll just say system dot out dot print. I'll not take println. There I'm writing a of I and j. Fine. I'll just add plus with one space. Fine, guys. So after printing this, let us try to write system dot out dot println. First row will be printed completely by using this nested for loop. First row will be printed until and as this block will be executed until and as this block is true. Then println will be printed. Okay, this is how your code is going to be worked. I hope you don't have any doubts in this concept up to now, up to this. Now, when I say you to enter the values and display the values, I'll just write a message called as system dot out dot println of array elements are. Array elements are. These are the array elements which I'm going to display. How I'm printing? I'm printing entire each row completely, then a new line will be printed. Each row completely and a new line will be printed. Yes or no? Okay. Let us try to run the application and just check it out whether application is working according to the desired coding or not. Okay. It is saying me to enter the array elements. I'll give 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and 70. I'll give 80, 90, 100, and 10, and 20. Okay. See, when I have given elements, even if you give the elements in a single row also, no problem. Fine. Now, what I did, array elements, I'm printing each row wise, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 10, and 20. I want each and every row sum now. This row sum I want. 0th row sum, first row sum, second row sum, like this I want. What I'll do now? I'll try to do small changes in my application. I'll take one variable called as integer sum is equals to 0 on the first pass. Sir, whenever it is entering into inner block, okay, whenever it is entering into inner block, I'll say sum is equals to sum plus A of I and J. A of I and J. So whenever it is coming from outer block to inner block, I'll say that it is sum should be initialized with 0. Fine. Now this, let us close this, and whenever it is printing the row sum, here only I'll print. First row sum is what, how will that print? Plus of sum now. Okay. Each and every row sum I am printing by using println statement. Okay. So after entering the elements, let us check it out whether it is working according to our expectation or not. I'll give 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120. See. 10, 20, 30, the row sum is 10, 60. 40, 50, 60, 70, the row sum is 220. 60 plus 40 is 100. 70 plus 50 is 220. So for the third row, 80 plus 170, 170 plus 110, 280 plus this, it is 500, right? This is 330. 330 plus 80 is 410. 410 plus 90 is 500. So this is 500. This is how we calculate the row sum, and we work with the concept of jagged array. Any queries on jagged arrays concept, you can text me anytime. You can just comment on the application, comment on the video. Any doubts, I'll be happy to clear your doubts. Thank you.